Hi, I'm Steve Pond from TheWrap. We're here at our Toronto International Film Festival studio, and I'm very pleased to welcome the team behind Triumph. This is sort of a full circle moment for me. About 5 years ago, the Bulgarian Oscar entry was a movie called The Father, which Petar Valchanov, you were one of the directors, and there was a young actress who had a very small role in it, Maria Bakalova, who has since gone on for an Oscar nomination and among other things. And now you guys are here with this year's Bulgarian Oscar
Thank
entry.
you.
Well, and you've
Thanks for having
brought
me.
along Julian Kostov. So welcome, and it's great to see you in the race again.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks
Well,
for having us.
Um, this is one of those movies that if you didn't know it was based on a true story, you would say there is no way on earth this ever happened. And even when you do know that it's based on a true story, you think, really? Um, Petar, you want to tell us a little bit about the story and what made you think there was a film there?
so when Christina Grozeva, the co-director, when she was a kid, and she went with her family to the village near to Sofia. They have house there. In the weekend, they go to relax there. And one day, in the middle of the nowhere on one road, they saw a big military camp, and the soldiers stopped them, asked them for the passports, and yes, they were a little bit worried what's happened here. And a month ago, no, after, sorry, the first private newspaper in Bulgaria after the fall of communism in the beginning of the democracy period, it came an article, uh, and the title was high rank officers and psychic digging a hole near to Sofia to find something very special. Tonal 180 meters, and yes, this real moment of the life of Christina, inspired. It's the beginning of our inspiration. To it's a real story that inspired us.
Maria, you also came on as a producer. I mean, did you know anything about this story?
yeah. Thank you. Well, it's an honor, and I'm flattered to be a part of the producing side as well. Because if I can be helpful, if I can be involved, if I can bring something to the already incredible project, that's the best I wish for. Um, I do know what happened back in the day, even though I haven't been born back then, because I've been born 1996, and this has been going through 1990 to 1992. Um, but this is something that we all have heard of, and we all somehow wanted to go and experience for real. Um, and when you go there, and when you see that there is a big, gigantic stone rock with a little line saying the hole, you start guessing, asking yourself. So this is a place that they digged for 2 years and spent over $20 million in search for alien intelligence, in order to make Bulgaria.
Great again.
I was about to say
Can't
that,
make that up.
but um, it's strange, and it's incredible when you have a chance to work on something that has been inspired by something that really happened, because you realize that real life stories have even more layers, structure than actually fictional stories. And yeah, it's just exploration of life and social behavior and how this thing reflects on you.
Right. Yeah, and this is 2 years of digging led by a psychic who's telling them go 45 degrees northwest and increase the angle. I mean, it's nuts.
I think that it is in this period our society in Bulgaria was very well prepared about this, because first the communism ended very soon, and also in this period I remember one very famous psychic from SSSR in this period, Kaspirovsky, who talked on the TV before the national television to start the news, and he talked to the whole Bulgarian audience how they can work on themselves, to work with their energy. And I remember that my father watched this TV show and try to, because he has problem with his hair, and try to believe on this and to fix his hair, but this never happened. So this is part of the beginning of the this transition period between the end of the communism and democracy, which somehow continuing in our days.
Julian, you originally were going to play one role and you ended up switching to another. How did you get involved here?
I actually met you because of the father, because during Maria's Oscar campaign for Borat, she was involved with the father with the role there as well. So she had told me about Peter and Chrissy, that they're the best Bulgarian directors, even some of the world's best directors. So we were like, if we get a chance to work with them through our production company that we started, Five Oceans, we should take that chance. And they mentioned that they're writing the script about the whole, which is a famous story, and I'm kind of like, I like to believe in aliens, so I'm like, yeah, let's do it. And then I read the script, and I'm like, okay, it's slightly different, but still incredible. We love the script when we had a chance to read it. I really wanted to be a part of it, and I was looking at this one part, and then we met up with Peter and Chrissy, and I was trying to pitch myself for the other part, and they were just looking at me conspiratorially, and they were like, and they were like, we think you're best for Private George. And I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting. And that was, I was a little afraid to begin with, because it was going to be awkward between Maria and I, because we were kind of like siblings. We're going to do all these love scenes. And I'm like, oh no. And it's my first ever love scene. It's the first time I'm ever acting in Bulgarian. So it was all very new to me, but I felt very safe in their hands. And once we started the process, it was just so freeing and fun. And we laughed so much in the whole, especially.
I would think that this is a very tricky tone to figure out how this movie should play, because it sort of is beyond belief, but it's not a straight comedy, even though parts of it are very funny but also very dark. So how do you decide, both as as an actress, how broadly to play this, and as a director, how do we find the right tone?
Yes, this was the challenge. This was the big challenge for us. But we decided to not scared, from the result, and to be, to follow our inspiration. And thanks to Maria and to Julian and to the other actors, and also to the cinematographer and everybody actually in the crew, we managed to make something with a lot of, fun during the shooting, but also a lot of serious feeling. And yes, it was something that discussed with the DOP, that we have to keep a very dramatic vision of the film, and with actors also, to be maximum serious in the scenes without to play the humor. And somehow, yes, the humor came.
It was challenging because, yeah, you're absolutely right. That's how I see the film. It's not a typical comedy. It's not a typical drama. It's something that it's blurred between a satire and a tragedy, which is, for me, the perfect version of a movie, because it provokes conversations. It provokes, like, am I supposed to cry here? Am I supposed to laugh here? It's awkward to laugh because it's not really funny. It's actually tragic. And it's, how did they get to this point, and how the hell did they believe in this craziness? But I've trusted them entirely, because they just know how to guide you, and because it's the two of them, it's Peter and Christina. So they balance each other a lot, and sometimes they will pull more into the dramatic side. Sometimes they will allow us to play a little harder and go for it, like push the boundaries and move forward. And that's how I think we managed to work with the tone of being something in between a comedy and a tragedy.
Yeah. You said something last night at the Q&A after the screening that I thought was great, which was, you watch it and you can think, how could they believe this ridiculous stuff? And yet politics have a way of getting you to believe things, whether it's Romania in 1990 or somewhere else in 2024. I mean, does this feel timely?
I think so. I unfortunately, and that's why it's good that we have movies that can make you think, make you laugh, make you cry, but also make you think. Who do you give your power to? Because they're gonna be in charge, and they will decide what to happen largely in the place that you live, probably in the world. I feel like it is pretty timely, unfortunately. And I feel like it's universal. It's not necessarily centered only in Bulgaria, in Eastern Europe. It might happen in Australia or Canada or the United States.
Yeah, I agree, and I think it's as we said, we were speaking about it, that it serves as a cautionary tale to, you know, be careful and be mindful of who you follow, what kind of things you like to believe. Just because you like to believe something doesn't make it actually real or the truth. And so there's a lot of ways that we're being manipulated in so many ways, through our phones, through the consumption of social media and our news. So it's a cautionary tale that even smart people people who think themselves very intelligent and smart, and who actually are, can be swayed into following false prophets and craziness. So be a vigilant citizen.
Yes. Well, I think we should end on those words of wisdom. So thank you guys for coming, and congratulations. And it's great to see you again.
Thank you so much.
Likewise,
so
thank
much.
you for having us.
Thank you for having us.